Hi everyone, so an update to my tier list, weapon tier list for AI limit. The Corrupted Bladed Swords is the only change, moving to S this time. Yeah, I wasn't sure 100% and I gave it a lot of, I was, let's say, on the fence whether I should put them in S, but eventually I decided, yeah, hell yeah, they should belong to the S tier and they're up there. So basically another piercing, damaging weapon getting into the S tier. Now we have three of them, right? So we have the Corrupted Bladed Swords, the Reapers, and also the Stygian Touch. So which one among these three actually is better? Now there's one thing, of course, that you need to do is just play with the weapons and try different scenarios and see what works best. It's not just, again, looking at the sheer damage and the combos and that's it, because there's so many things that will eventually lead you to maybe, delay your attacks, or you can get interrupted and eventually you won't be able to deal that amount of damage. Because there's so many scenarios. So the DPS is the thing here, how much you can actually deal at any given time without actually being interrupted. And there are also different scenarios that you might be dealing with group of enemies charging you. There are things that are very straightforward. First of all, how much time it takes you to, when you hit, to get to 100, for example. And of course, some of the weapons, like for example, the Stygian Touch, was slower. How much time it takes you to execute another set of skills. And again, Stygian Touch, because of the retreat, was slower. The Stygian Touch, just so you know, again, it's a main strength one. Strength is the main thing, so it's a bit slower than the others, but it does pack a punch. The Reapers, for example, when you do a combo, they're just gonna hit like in one set, very quick set. But the other ones will have kind of longer combo. You can see this is just like one slash. Everything hits immediately. So to really make the best out of it, and it balanced pretty well, you need to repeat it fast. Again, if you get interrupted, you won't deal as much damage, for example, compared to the Stygian Touch. And it also has a disadvantage where, enemies may be charging you. You can't really just, pre-attack, because you're going to finish it fast. You might miss altogether all these attacks because the enemy is not close enough. With the other ones, you can pre-attack and you actually cause enemies to stagger while they try to attack you. And it happened to me in Ursula, for example. Just pre-attack and it kind of catches her maybe in the air or charging you, and just continue dealing damage. And then if you get a little stagger, you can continue dealing this. But again, with the Stygian Touch, the problem is that you have the retreat. You can easily go back, dash forward and continue, but it is an interference in certain situations. So with this weapon, with the Reapers, for example, I'm building around, being able to chain it fast. And of course, it's more responsive in certain situations where you maybe want the animation to finish rather than continue, because again, if the animation is continuing, you can get punished because you can't really stop the animation. There's no cancel option. But in New Game Plus, when you're already very tanky, you don't mind that. You actually prefer just, the animation to continue, even not getting interrupted, and let it finish and get the attack done. And even maybe there are a group of enemies, somebody joined, they're just gonna get inside this mixer of damage and hopefully get interrupted themselves. Now the Corrupted Bladed Sword has a lower scaling because it goes B and D rather than B and C compared to the Reapers. Same goes to the Stygian Touch, which is also B and D. But based on the stats that I've seen, if you just put 50-50, the Stygian Touch has the highest stagger damage. Like 20, after that was 16 with the Reapers, and then the Corrupted Bladed Swords. I'll do another test alone for that information just to see that it's correct, so I'm going to share with you in another video. Maybe it does make sense because again, it's a slower weapon compared to the others, so probably balance it out. Now with the Corrupted Bladed Swords, it's a longer combo, as you can see. I actually prefer the longer combos than the just single and fast one. It has a disadvantage, but overall against various scenarios, I do prefer that over just a single one burst of attack. And this is because I can it's like pre-fire in FPS, I can pre-attack. And it's really also really fun once you're able to kind of pre-attack and get the enemy inside your slashes and even parry them before they can actually hit you. Alright, let's watch a bit of Ursula with the different weapons. So with the Reapers now, you can see that the cool thing is that you actually deal like 360. This is also important, the pattern of the attack. Also, when you do regular attack, you kind of deal around you, so still enemies on the sides will actually get hit as well. It's actually also covered the 360, but not all the attacks. I mean, in general, they're going to cover everything, except, of course, from the skill that covers everything with the 360 attack. Just know that for each one I respec'd, again, everything was similar except for the attributes that I made sure that are adjusted to be quite similar. I didn't stay with the same thing and just switch weapons, of course, just to make it sure that just reflect better the the damage of the weapon relatively to the others. And again, this is just one boss, right? I tried it in many situations, which are really so many things that I can't really cover everything. But I can tell you that when I fight several enemies, the first one, of course, can be good, but sometimes I don't get the stagger, and sometimes I prefer even getting the advantage of pre-attacking, and I don't get to do it with this one. As you can see, damage when you get the set of attacks is really good if you're able to stack a few skill attacks. Now you can see the damage there, very good. Alright, going with the Corrupted Blader Swords, now changed to an S tier. Yeah, I did lots of testing. I'm playing now on New Game Plus 5, and I play with it quite a lot, and it does deserve it. You can see the crazy 360 attacks. Also felt that I'm finishing bosses faster with it, and also because of the the timing between the attacks, it doesn't really allow enemies to attack in between. It's fast enough to interrupt. Very fast attack weapon, very good damage, very good skill. Now you can also execute it a bit far, and that's another advantage, because you can, I don't need to be very close. Even if I miss a few, I still can attack and maybe get, if I get a stagger, or I get, for example, piercing, I can continue attacking with the other one, right? So it's actually beneficial even to start it before, just to, so you can continue rather than enemy resetting, going back, or doing whatever after a stun. Very good, very impressive results. Alright, Stygian Touch is another beast, of course. Alright, first of all, again, it's strength first. It's slower attack, but deal very, very good stagger damage. I always feel with this weapon that it's just staggering like crazy. I didn't measure it, of course, to be super accurate, but I feel that it's just really strong. When I get my combo, I usually get piercing. Now the retreat can be a disadvantage or advantage, depends on your play style. Certain enemies you can actually just retreat, let enemy miss, and then just close distance to an attack, or just pre-attack, because you're gonna move as you attack as well with this weapon. Now because of the combo, when I use this weapon, I actually enjoy, just like a barbarian, just going in, especially when you are durable, and just counting on it to get the stagger done if I execute the attack, or get some the piercing, so I can continue attacking. You just feel more reliable in that aspect compared to the other ones. Here I just make two mistakes, so yeah, unfortunately I just got hit, and here I actually also made a mistake, but just not continuing attacking. But basically if I have done that, I couldn't just wipe her if I just got in, but I didn't. So against Ursula, basically the retreat is a disadvantage, as you can see, because you really want to continue fast. You can dash forward, of course, just one dash in many situations, but it's a disadvantage here. And the reason for that, again, against fast-moving enemies, sometimes it can be the advantage, depends, again, but most people won't adapt to that move. So, yeah, it can be a disadvantage for sure here. So you can see the attacks here, just the skill. I'm going to show you just the skills, so you can see the Reapers. Now the other one, Corrupted. And Stygian Touch. Anyway, still based on lots of things other than, of course, Ursula. I spend more with those three, and basically the Reapers for me going to be third. Corrupted Blade Sword is going to be second. I'm not far behind the Stygian Touch, which is first. I think just the combo is great for pre-attacking, and great again with fighting several enemies, and it get great against bosses, especially when I'm going in and I don't mind getting hit. I actually prefer the combo being like that. I prefer high damage, through this skill attack. So this is my ranking. I'm sure many of you will think different, so let me know in the comment section below your thoughts. Thanks.